Hi Aquarius. Sorry I've been away for a little bit. I'm in the process of getting my certification to teach Kundalini yoga, and it's a lot of work. It's almost like a graduate level course or something. But anyway, I'm back this week and I'm starting with you guys first because I'm so excited. There's been a big important transit. Pluto is now in your sign. So to celebrate, I've been waiting for this for a very long time, starting with your sign. As always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'm trying to build my following, and also I am accepting personal readings right now. So if that interests you, feel free to reach out. Okay, let's get started. In your home line, there is some kind of like a contract or agreement in your state, and it looks like it's involving financing of some sort, but be careful about being talked into some deal. If you're hesitant about it or you have your reserves, I would not go along with it. I would really do your research and make sure that everything lines up if it's something that you feel a little hesitant or uncertain about. But it looks like a deal goes through even if someone won't cooperate or decides to leave the project. But it ends up working out well in your favor. Just be cautious about being talked into something that you're not fully on board with. In your personal line, there's some kind of a death here. It could be a literal death. It could be a figurative death. There is in this same line, there's a dark complected woman connected somehow. And so it could be the death of this darker complected woman. It could be maybe the death of something for this dark complected woman. It's also in this line is opportunity in business and job. So it could be that there's a death of an opportunity in terms of business or job for this dark complected woman, but you receive some sort of communication about this, and somehow someone's going to be asking for your help or assistance. Maybe an opportunity falls through for a darker complected woman and she reaches out to you and says, hey, can you help me? I had this death of a prospect. But for some of you, it might be a literal death of something pertaining to a darker complected woman, and someone reaches out to you for help. In this next line, there is some gossip about you, but everything clears up and it works out in your favor. And it's confusing because in the same line, there's you, and then there's also something about your mother or maybe a mother figure. I don't know if your mom's gossiping about you or maybe someone's gossiping about you and your mom, but it's a fortunate line. There's like a happy solution to a present problem somehow, and it works out and matters end up clearing up, but there's a combination containing the message that the family is safe and intact. So there's something maybe involving you and your mother, and you're able to come up with a happy solution to a problem, and it maintains the sanctity of the family in some way, shape, or form. But it's a fortunate line. If you overhear that there is gossip about you, I wouldn't be too concerned. This next line, it's like there's some confusion or misunderstanding, and you get your wish, but you have it like at the very end, you have some sort of change of mind or a change of heart about something. And I think your change of heart is concerning this. It's a man, it's an adversarial man, it's a king of spades, it's someone that you don't really care for. Either he's not good for you in some manner, but it's like something better comes along, and at the last minute you end up changing your mind. But I think the reason that you change your mind is A, because you get a better offer, something better comes along, and two, there's something about this man, you don't understand him, or there's something you don't know about him, but yeah, you change your mind about something that you thought you wanted at one point. It was like a wish come true, and then you're like, oh, I don't know that I want this. In this next line, there's some kind of, this was interesting. This was probably the most interesting part of the reading, and this isn't going to apply to all of you, but it's important. There's an unpleasant or unfortunate meeting, or some kind of unfortunate task that has to be accomplished. And it's like there's two kings that play into this. There's a lighter complected or older king, and then there's this adversarial king, this king of spades. And this king, something is coming through this king of spades, and it's like danger to your he's presenting some kind of danger to your situation, and you end up having to alienate someone because of this. But it's like bad luck in love and emotions. It's very, very interesting. But okay, this isn't going to be for all of you guys, but for some of you, I'm picking up that it's like maybe you have your decision between two different kings. I could go with this either lighter complected or older guy, or I could go with this guy that isn't really good for me. And it's almost like the one that isn't good for you, there's this attraction or allure about him. Like he's bad news, but you still want him anyway for some reason. But I think you end up making the right choice at the end. It's like you have this unpleasant, unfortunate meeting. You have to alienate someone. I hope you make the right decision, and I hope you don't pick this troublesome guy, because it feels really bad. Please don't pick the bad guy. Please pick the better guy. But there's something about this other king. It's like there's something about a distance between you and him. Maybe it's like emotional distance, or maybe it's like physical proximity. Maybe he's in another area than you. But it's like you have two picks, one potentially better decision and one really poor decision with a dangerous guy, or someone that's endangering you in some way, shape, or form. But he's bad news. With this adversarial, troublesome guy comes a lot of bad luck. So I hope that, please don't pick him. All right, in your job line, there's some kind of a bad merger or bad union or bad joining, two people taking up together, or two associations taking up together, but it's a bad coupling for whatever reason. But it's saying don't be afraid of this, even if it doesn't work out in your best interest. There's something still beneficial about it. So it's not saying don't do it, just be aware that things might not work out long term or in your ultimate best interest. But I think there's still good enough to be accomplished through it. But it involves a birth or a start of something new, and there's this darker complected male connected with it. And I think for some of you guys, the reason that it's a bad merger or joining is because there's some kind of guilt or wrongdoing on behalf of this darker complected male. But it's not saying don't do it. It's saying don't be afraid of it for whatever reason. be aware is all. Okay, in this next line, a trip is going to be delayed for you. It's like you have, it might seem like a small trip, but it's delayed because there's misfortune coming through a woman in some way, shape, or form. And I think that you kind of suddenly have to cancel this trip, and it entails suddenly canceling or delaying some kind of a contract or agreement. Maybe you booked a flight and your contract or agreement is your plane ticket, and maybe you're having to forfeit that money, or I'm not sure, but there's some kind of delay, and it's coming from this adversarial woman, this woman that you don't really care for, someone that ends up screwing you at the last minute. Maybe that message isn't for all of you. But in the very next line coming down, you have, it's like after you get kind of screwed over by this woman, you have this misfortune and a delayed trip because of this woman. It's like there's a different woman that comes in and rectifies the situation. So after you get this misfortune through a woman, you get good fortune through this other woman, and it's like you get your wish. It's a very fortunate line. But in the line, there's this woman that kind of helps you out. She's someone that you like. She's a Queen of Hearts. You care for this woman. And next, and it's like your wish is right here. Your wish is getting fulfilled. And on the other side, somehow connected to you getting your wish, is an older or lighter complected male. And it's like through the both of them, you get your wish. There's a lot of good or happiness that comes. Also, in the same line is the card that says your state. So maybe these people are in your state. Maybe the trip is in your state. I don't know. Something about you getting your wish, and someone comes to your rescue and helps you out. This next line, there's some kind of a rivalry or opposition, and it comes with a small sacrifice, but you end up being able to get reinstated or exonerated. So if you lost something or you got put in a sort of like a probationary period, you're gonna come out on top. You're gonna get reinstated, you're gonna get exonerated, but you're gonna have to make a sacrifice to get there. But it's an opposition type situation, and it might involve finances for some of you because the financing card is here. For some of you it won't because that's connected to another line. Anyway, moving on. There is a business or building permit or licensure, and there's a man and you're angry with him. He's an adversarial man. He's a king of spades. And through him comes some controversy or conflict in regards to this licensure or permit, a building permit, a business permit, something, a licensure of some sort. But it's a conflict arising from him. But don't be afraid of it, because matters do clear up. You get some kind of communication or message. It might come from a younger male that matters are clearing up, and that the permit or licensure is going to go through anyway despite this conflict. Again, this next line it's connected to, for many of you, the thing that I read earlier about this troublesome male. And for some reason he really bothers me. I just don't like him. I don't like him for you, Aquarius. I don't. There's a bad love affair, and it causes a lot of trouble for you. And it's putting you right next to this darker complected female. And it's like she's causing you some unhappiness, but really the unhappiness is coming through this darker complected male, and you're blaming her. This isn't going to be the case for all of you, but for a select few of you, this is like a third party situation. And maybe this King of Spades that's no good for you, maybe he's married or involved with this woman, and it's like you're blaming her. If only she wasn't here, then everything would be good. But that's just, it's not the case. It's a bad love affair with this guy. Again, that's not going to be for all of you, and take it as it resonates. But it's a troublesome love affair. This troublesome king is connected in some way, and it's causing you a lot of unhappiness for those that resonate with this message. There is going to be a pleasant or fortunate meeting that brings about an opportunity for your career. It's going to bring about advancement for an opportunity in your career. It might involve either a dark complected man or a younger female. I have both of those cards in this line. But it's a positive thing, and it looks like it's going to go through. So congratulations if that message is for you. In this very last line, there's new developments in your social life, and it could come from a distance, maybe a distance in time or a distance in location. Take it as it resonates. But it involves your career somehow, and it's good. It's a positive thing. It results in a lot of pleasantness and happiness for you. And interestingly enough, it could involve your mother, because that's a tie-in. It could involve your mother somehow, or it could involve a lighter complected or older female. But it's positive aspects of your social life developing in regards to business or job. All right, Aquarius, I hope that answers all of your questions. For those of you wanting to know that resonated with this message about this troublesome male, feel free to reach out for a personal reading, and we can dive further in about what this might entail, because I'm very interested. All right, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your month, and good luck.